Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lindsey, and today we're going to be testing out very luxurious, pricey brand Westman Atelier. I have a couple products to try on for you guys. We're also going to be doing a wear test, so stay tuned for that. But let's just go ahead and get started. Before we start, if you guys aren't already subscribed, I would love to have you, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy at any point. But let's get into the makeup. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get started and start trying these products. So this is the packaging that they come in. Really cute little pink boxes with some gold lettering on it. And then with each product, you do also get a protective case, which I really like for a product that's so expensive. It's nice to have something just to protect the outer casing of it. So let's go ahead and talk about the Vital Skin Foundation Stick. I haven't watched a ton of reviews on this brand, so I'm not really sure what people think of it, which is kind of a good thing. I'm just gonna go into this with an open mind and see how they end up working out. And this is the shade 3. So you get a little like magnetic closure. This packaging does feel super luxurious, which I would expect it to for the price that they are selling these at. And then it just has a little twist up part here, and there's the foundation. There's the shade on my hand there. Obviously it's gonna be my self-tan shade. If I had no self-tan on, I would be probably one of the lighter shades. So this baby retails for, let's see, $68 here for 0.31 ounces of product, so not even a full ounce in here. And they do sell this brand on Credo Beauty now. You can also grab it on their website. And this comes in 14 shades, I believe. And the shade range is definitely spotty. There's like a bunch of these medium lighter shades and like one deep shade, so I would definitely say they need to improve on that. And this claims that it's a luxurious cream foundation rich in antioxidants and other actives to soothe skin and even complexion. It melts in the skin for a natural finish. I'm not sure what the coverage of this is supposed to be, but let's just go ahead and try it out. So I'm just gonna start with probably that much, about 2.5 swipes, and see how far that gets me. And I'm going to try this with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I feel like cream foundations usually work a lot better with a brush, but we'll see. We'll experiment a little bit. Okay, it's blending out okay. So with that amount of product, I would say it's probably light coverage. It's not super light, but definitely, I would say it's more light than medium. I'm gonna try a little bit more on this side. Color match is definitely good. I wouldn't say that this is blending in really nicely. It's sort of catching on my texture, as I find a lot of cream foundations do on my skin, but maybe it's one of those things where once it warms up to your skin, it looks a lot better. But let's move on to the rest. I'm gonna add some more on this side as well to build up the coverage. I have no idea what that little symbol is. And I'm gonna try it with a sponge just for experiment's sake to see if that really changes anything. Honestly, I kind of feel like the sponge worked better and it didn't catch on my texture a lot. So examining what we have so far, it definitely looks really natural and pretty on the skin. It was okay when I applied it with the brush. I kind of like it more with the sponge. I feel like I just like everything more with the sponge for my skin type. It's definitely lighter coverage. I would probably go in and just do a little bit like of spot concealing or just layer it up where you need it. But overall it did just even out my skin tone really nicely. And it does look extremely natural. It's not clinging to dry patches. You know, it looks good. I think the color match is great as well. I am going to build this up a little bit more just to see, you know, how far we can take it. And blending this in with my sponge. It's definitely very layerable. It doesn't really pick up on itself, which is great. Here's a closer look at what it's looking like so far. This is 3 lightish layers. I do feel like it's hit a stopping point. Like I feel like I can't really build it up more than this, but so far it looks good. And it is satin. It's not really glowy, which I appreciate. Super glowy foundations aren't my thing, so you could probably not even set this depending on your skin type. So let's move on to the next product. My next products are blush and highlight. I'm gonna do a little bit of cream contour and concealer before I move on to that. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Fawn Contour Stick. They do have a contour, I believe. Don't have that on hand to try, but if you guys have tried that, definitely let me know what you think of it. Next for concealer, I'm going to take the Kosas Revealer in the shade 02. I'm going to be pretty light-handed as to not interfere with the foundation. And I'm going to do a tiny bit of very light spot concealing over here. And I'm just going to blend that out with my sponge. So I did go ahead and set my under eyes with the Ilia powder, but I used a really small amount and I just kept it right here because I want to leave this area blank because we have some other cream products. I think I'm also just not going to set this foundation today. I feel like I don't necessarily need to. We will see how it performs just on its own with no other powder. Moving along to our next product, we have the Baby Cheeks blush stick. This is the shade Choquette. That's probably wrong. But this one is gray. Again, same really luxurious feeling packaging and same little mechanism here. I haven't swatched this or anything yet. That looks super pretty. Definitely right up my more just true pink blush alley. I'm not sure if I'm gonna apply this directly. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of product on my hand. This is really pigmented. And then I'm gonna use my sponge to apply it like I do most cream blushes. I feel like it just picks up on foundation and product a little bit less. Dabbing that on. So I think this looks really pretty. It definitely has a glow to it, but not something overly dewy. Kind of just that perfect finish in my opinion. I think the shade's beautiful as well. It's sort of like a coolish tone pink. Next on to the highlighter I have here. It's called their Lit Up Highlighter Stick. This one's in the shade Lit. And this one, I love this packaging, is a black, same container. And this looks like it has like a pretty purpley blue reflect to it. Oh my god, it looks so pretty. There's a shade there. It definitely has like this purple shift to it. This feels like it's really creamy, like creamier than the other products. I think I'm gonna just start by applying this with my finger. See how it goes. For being like a really unique highlighter shade, it still looks relatively natural. The shimmer in this is extremely subtle. It really just looks like a natural glow on your cheek. I'm really obsessed with how this is looking so far. I feel like it really melts into the skin too. And I would say like one thing I'm pulling away from these is they're definitely a cream-based product, obviously, but they're not heavy at all. Like a lot of cream products tend to be like heavier, just like sit on top of your skin. I feel like for being creams, they're super lightweight. Here's another look at the base. I also feel like the cream blush and the cream highlight didn't pick up on the foundation or a little bit of powder I had on. It did sit on top of it really nicely and didn't really like mix in and get weird. Moving on to brows, I'm going to fill in my brows with the Plume Signs Brow Pomade. This is in the shade Ashy Daybreak. I'm also using their brush. I've been testing this out a little bit. I'm not sure if I like it more than my Eco Brow. I feel like it's just like a little like more emollient than that one. But I do really love the shade of this. And again, I'm still testing it, so we'll have to play around with it. Forgot to mention the prices of these two, but the highlighter stick is $48 and then the blush stick is $50. Moving on to eyeshadow, I think I'm just gonna keep it really natural and neutral. I'm gonna use the Ilia Warm palette, starting with this mustardy shade. And you guys probably know the routine by now. This is going to be my transition. Next, dipping into this creamsicle shade and layering that on top, just a little closer to my crease this time. Now I'm just taking that same shade and blending it under my lower lash line. Next, I'm taking a little bit of this deepest chocolate brown and really focusing that on the outer V. Being careful not to go too far in. For my lid shade, I'm going to use the Pixie. This is their Reflex Light palette. I'm gonna use this lightest white shade. It has a bit of a gold reflect to it. I'm just gonna use my finger with this. I'm just gonna tap this on the inner half of my eye. Taking that same shade right into my inner corners. I feel like it's still not as bright as I want it, so I'm gonna take the Ofra Beverly Hills highlight and dip into this super frosty white. Next, I'm just gonna do a classic black wing, and then we'll be back to wrap up the rest of this makeup. All right, guys, I'm back with the rest of the eye look finished up. I used some liner, Ilia mascara, and then I put on the House of Lashes. These are the Ethereal Light from their Light collection. I just recently saw these at Target. Pricier than, say, like Ardell lashes, but I really like the style. I think they're super pretty. So for lips, I think I'm gonna keep it very neutral to go along with this look. I think I'm gonna mix two of these Bare Minerals. These are called their Mineralist lipsticks. These are such a great hydrating formula. I'm gonna mix Focus and Insight. This is the shade Focus, a little bit deeper, and Insight is like this pinky nude. Similar, but a little different. So I'm just gonna start with the deeper one, Focus. And taking a little bit of Insight to the center of the lips. I went ahead and just put on some of the St. Jane CBD gloss in Bliss as well. So here's our finished look using a couple of Westman Atelier products. We're gonna go ahead and do a wear test today as well. It's $2.52. I'll wear it as long as I can and check in because I really want to test the wear of these, especially for the price. All right, so here's like my first check-in, $2.54. We'll call it 3 o'clock. Here's how the face looks. The foundation looks really nice. I feel like it almost set itself. It's not super dewy, and the blush and highlight and everything look really good. So hopefully everything will hold up. It is creasing a tiny bit in my smile lines, but kind of expect that with a foundation. But anyway, I'll see you guys at the end of the night. All right, guys, I'm taking this video on my phone, so the quality's not gonna be as good as my camera, but I just want to show you what everything looks like in natural light. It looks definitely really pretty on the skin. See how it holds up. All right, guys, I'm back from my check-in, 8:59. So it's been around 5 hours, not a super long time, but I wanted to show you guys what it's looking like. So overall, I still feel like it looks really pretty. It didn't get really overly dewy or anything. It did sort of wear off where I touched my face because it is just like an oil foundation that I didn't set. And I also noticed with the highlight, it's the same thing. Like if you touch that area at all, it's just gonna remove all of your makeup. So I don't really love that. I do feel like the blush stayed on for the most part. And there is just some breaking up in like this texture around my mouth. Be able to see a lot better now. Just like in my smile lines. And just in this area, it's starting to not look so good, and it has only been 5 hours so far. I feel like it's kind of worn off my nose as well. So overall, I would say not like the worst wear I've had, but it's definitely not impressing me for the price. Not even just for the price, for a foundation in general. I'd expect it to wear a little bit longer. I do really love how the foundation and all the products look on the skin. They look so gorgeous. I feel like if they held up a little bit better, I would definitely be on the side of recommending them. But so far, I feel like none of these are really stood out to me to be like all-star products that I would recommend. I think you could get similar products to these with the same amount of pigment and payoff and quality for a lot more affordable price. So because of that, I'm not sure I'm gonna really recommend any of these, even though I think they're really pretty. Maybe if you wanted to splurge on something very luxurious feeling, I do absolutely love how this highlight looked on the skin. I wish it didn't come off, but I guess that's kind of to be expected with more oil-based formula. Cream blush was really gorgeous as well, and I was really like surprised that I ended up liking this foundation. I'm usually not a fan of stick foundations, very like creamy oil-based foundations, but it's not super glowy, which I appreciated. I'll have to experiment with this a little bit more and maybe try setting it with a powder. It's definitely something I'm interested in using more, but at the moment, nothing here that I'm really crazy about. All right guys, that was it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as well if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these products, if you've tried them. What are your thoughts on this brand? I'd love to hear below, but I'll see you guys in my next video. I don't know what that was. Bye.